Hello there everyone, and welcome to your weekly MTA plan work video for the Queens Subways and Long Island Railroad for the weekend of Friday, October 26, 2018, and lasting until Monday, October 29th, 2018. I know it's a little bit early to wish everybody this, but I figured since there are a lot of events going on, I wanted to wish everybody a very early, happy Halloween. Because, as I just mentioned, a lot of people are going to do a lot of festive things for Halloween this weekend. Because, of course, Halloween falls on a Wednesday this year. And I figured, get everybody in the festive spirit. And I know on actual Halloween day, I will be helping the residents at my nursing home that I work with their Halloween party. But, off topic, of course, wanted to quickly mention that we are going to discuss our usual plan work for the Queens Subways here. A lot of familiar stuff that we're going to recap, and hopefully maybe it'll be the last time I talk about it, because maybe there'll be new service changes, but different stuff for the Long Island Railroad that happened a couple weeks ago, and it's taking place now that I'm going to recap this week. So without further ado, let's get started. Is there any work on the 7th? Unfortunately, yes. October 27th through the 29th. 12:15 a.m. Saturday to 4:30 a.m. Monday. Free shuttle buses and the EFNW plus the Times Square 42nd Street shuttle will replace 7 service between 34th Street, Hudson Yards, and Queensboro Plaza due to signal modernization. 7 service will run between Flushing Main Street and Queensboro Plaza. You can use the E, F, N, or W lines for service between Queens and Manhattan. I also want to mention that the R line will also be available this weekend if you want to utilize that as well. You can transfer at Queensboro Plaza for the 7, N, and W lines, or at 74th Street, Jackson Heights, Roosevelt Avenue for the 7, E, F, and R lines. Free shuttle buses will run along 2 routes, between Hudson Yards and Times Square, and Queensboro Plaza and Vernon Boulevard, Jackson Avenue. W trains will run this weekend, and I will give the timeline later on in this video of when W service will be available this weekend. But I also want to quickly remind everybody that this weekend the 42nd Street Times Square shuttle will run overnight this weekend. And it's pretty much been the same thing all month, as we are, of course, at the end of October. I figured I want to quickly recap that. Partial M train service again, and this is where I'm going to bring up Brooklyn, because this is going to affect the Q line again in Brooklyn. October 26th to the 29th, 10 p.m. Friday to 5 a.m. Monday. M service will run between Middle Village, Metropolitan Avenue, and 4750th Street, Rockefeller Center, and will replace Q service between Lexington Avenue, 63rd Street, and 96th Street, 2nd Avenue all weekend. Just want to quickly leave this here so that way you know what time, when this will be occurring. Because with the M line, it's always been an inconsistent pattern, but I figured something consistent's been going on lately, and here we are in October, because this is very important. So now we're going to get into what's going on with the Q line and why the M is affected because of this. October 26th to the 29th, 9:45 p.m. Friday to 5 a.m. Monday. Free shuttle buses and the M, N, and R lines will replace Q trains between Prospect Park in Brooklyn and 96th Street, 2nd Avenue due to track maintenance. Q service will run between Coney Island, Stillwell Avenue, and Prospect Park. M service will run to and from 2nd Avenue 96th Street Q station all weekend. Shuttle buses will make all Q stops between Prospect Park and Atlantic Avenue Barclays Center at Flatbush Avenue and Atlantic Avenue. Transfer between Q trains and buses at Prospect Park and or between buses and NR trains at Atlantic Avenue Barclays Center. You can transfer between the N, R, and M trains at 34th Street, Herald Square. Consider using the F or the N line to and from Coney Island Stillwell Avenue. Will the R be affected in Queens? Our train service in Queens will not be impacted. For local service along the Queens Boulevard main line this weekend, please consider using the R, E, or F lines this weekend. The E will be running local, but the F, we're going to get into that because more headaches on the F train again. Also, for an alternative westbound, eastbound service to Manhattan from Queens Plaza, you can also use the R line. Will the E run this weekend? There is no planned work on the E, and please remember, express service is not available on the E line during weekends. F train, October 26th to 29th, 11:45 p.m. Friday to 5 a.m. Monday. Coney Island bound F trains are rerouted via the E after 36th Street to 4750th Street, Rockefeller Plaza, due to track maintenance. Use a Jamaica-bound F train to complete your trip via transfer at Rockefeller Plaza, 4750th Street, or Jackson Heights, Roosevelt Avenue. For Lexington Avenue and 63rd Street, you can take the M or Jamaica-bound F train. And please remember, transfer at 4750th Street, Rockefeller Plaza. On the N line, we have good news this weekend. No major changes to report in the borough of Queens. However, there is a huge service change that will be taking place in Brooklyn this weekend. So if you want coverage on that, please, and I'm going to leave the card right now in the video, you please remember to watch Matt Camper's video regarding the major service change on the N line. I will leave the timestamp in the card so that way you all can fast forward if you are looking for information regarding the big headache coming to Brooklyn this weekend on the N line. However, due to the headaches on the 7 line, the N will be able to get you into Manhattan this weekend from Queens. Now we're going to get to the other good news about the W, which the W again will be available this weekend. The W will be available from Saturday, October 27th, from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., and on Sunday, October 28th, from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Special weekend W service will run between Whitehall Street and Ditmars Boulevard. I also want to quickly suggest to the MTA that they should put this into consideration, that if the 7 will be out again next weekend, please be considerate and have the W run in Astoria again next weekend, because next weekend is the TCS New York City Marathon. And I will, of course, next weekend, I'll change the format up. I will discuss the street closures for the TCS New York City Marathon next weekend. I am going to see if any... I won't do it by bus. I figured if you know your streets very well, you all can look it up on the MTA's website, and then they will be able to let you know if your bus service will be detoured or not running on Sunday, November 4th due to the TCS New York City Marathon. But I figured for people who want to go into the city for the marathon, this would be especially useful to have the W run next weekend for extra service if the 7 will not be running between Queensboro Plaza and 34th Street Hudson Yards. I almost said Times Square because I'm thinking of the old run, but happens with the random thoughts. Ozone Park riders. How much more of this do you have to take? I have a bad feeling this is going to continue until December at this point. So let's go on to the usual service changes that have been taking place since, I would say, summer. October 27th to the 28th, 3:45 a.m. Saturday, 10 p.m. Sunday. You know what's happening again. The shuttle buses are returning. The E will also be replacing J trains between Crescent Street in Brooklyn and Jamaica Center due to station rehab. J service will run between Broad Street and Crescent Street. Free shuttle buses will make all J stops between Crescent Street and 121st Street and will connect with the E train at Jamaica Van Wyck. Transfer between trains and free shuttle buses at Jamaica Van Wyck E train station and or Crescent Street J station. On the A, we have good news. No planned work at all scheduled on the entire line, which also includes service in Far Rockaway and service to JFK Airport. Good news is no planned work on the entire G line, which is excellent because we have two events taking place at Barclays Center this weekend. We have the Keith Urban concert taking place this Saturday, and on Sunday the Brooklyn Nets will be playing at 5:30. Let's see the Long Island Railroad service changes website. There is only one major service change to report on the Long Island Railroad this weekend, and this was, of course, back 2 weeks ago. We had the same similar substitution on the Port Jefferson branch. So I will read to you the service change. Starting at 12:35 a.m. on Saturday, October 27th, 2018, and continuing through Sunday, October 28th, buses will replace trains between Huntington and Port Jefferson to accommodate state of good repair track work. Train service will resume at 12:55 a.m. on Monday, October 29th. Weekend service will be affected as follows. Westbound, customers at stations Port Jefferson through Greenlawn will board buses 23 minutes earlier than normal train times. On Huntington, customers will connect with trains for service to points west. Eastbound, customers traveling to stations Greenlawn through Port Jefferson will transfer to a bus in Huntington. Please plan for 22 minutes of additional travel time. For details, pick up a Port Jefferson branch track work schedule dated October 27th to the 28th, or there is a PDF link, so we will show it right now. As I mentioned before, the same substitution took place 2 weekends ago, back on October 13th and the 14th. And of course, this is what the schedule says. Concrete tie installation work buses will replace trains between Huntington and Port Jefferson. Use this schedule for all service on those affected weekends only. For all other service, use the Port Jefferson branch timetable effective September 4th through November 11th, 2018. There you have it. That's going to wrap up your service changes video for this weekend. Thank you all for watching. Until the next one, please take care.